All right, traders, a very warm welcome to you all. I am Devang Mehra from the Financial Analyst, and I'm here to talk about today what we can expect in the markets going forward. Everyone's been messaging me if things are all right at my end, and they are. They're better than ever, right? I hope you all are safe. I hope you are taking care of your family. You're all together, and that's the utmost thing of utmost importance right now. As I said in the last couple of days, in the last couple of weeks, for the fact of matter, I've been busy. I'm using this time of choppiness that we're seeing in the markets. You've already been alerted about that for the last 10 days, I think. So I'm using this time wisely. I don't think it's a time for me to enter the markets every single day, every single minute, but I'm using this time wisely to learn things that I've always wanted to learn. Some people are aware of that, and I'm spending time doing what matters, doing what I love. And I can tell you with certainty that I'm getting where I need to be with what I am learning. So going forward, it's Wednesday evening, 10:50 p.m. in the night. So let's talk about what we can expect in the markets going forward. And if you all missed me, let me know in the likes, in the comments. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you enjoy our videos, share it with your friends. Let's increase the community as much as we can. And let's keep a target of 500 likes for this video. Let's see if that is possible. I want to start off with the message first. Okay. I want to give you the hint. Then we'll go further on with the data, with the fundamentals, technicals, etc. So being it's a holiday tomorrow, you can watch this video whenever you want and you can learn something new as always. So I'll start with the message. The clouds are coming in hot and heavy. The sky is about to become dark. The sky is about to become gloomy. Things are going to become very overcast, which will be followed by lightning and which might also be followed by thundering. Things will be getting worse by the moment. It's going to start raining slowly, slowly. It's going to catch pace. It's going to start to rain heavily. And we can't do anything about it. It's not in our control. We can't even get out of our houses because everything is going to be flooded outside. Markets will test your patience. The weather will test your patience. And you have to endure like you've always done for the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, when things have got bad. But when everything appears to be very, very bad, when everything appears to be lost, when your presence of mind appears to be gone, that is the time when I want you to be the first people to take the advantage. I want you to put your raincoats on. I want you to get your umbrellas out, step outside in the rain, in spite of the poor weather conditions, and do what you've always done, which is surviving. Like you've done it in the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in the COVID crash last year. Because no matter what, India is a bull market. We might see hiccups along the way. Hiccups could turn into bigger hiccups. But eventually, we do continue our path when things get fine. You all remember when we started investing. I'll give you the very simple example. I hope you all are connected with our Telegram. If you aren't, it's a free platform that you could connect with us. It's called TFA Investments, or you can search the Financial Analyst. You will come to our Telegram channel. This is the only channel that we have. We don't give calls. I hope you're aware of that already. But humble request, we're at 68, 66 right now. Can we reach 7,000 by tomorrow? Let's see if that can happen. I would really enjoy that. And I would love to help as many people as I can. But if you're connected with our channel, we've been telling you for time after time after time to start being stock specific, and not just today. It's been when we were at 31,000 on Bank Nifty, when we were around about 14,200, 300 levels on Nifty. You all remember the purchases: HDFC Twins, Bajaj Auto, PVR, ITC, the big names like KRBL, big profits. I mean, Nalco, another big profit, GMM Fodler, another big profit. We haven't got them today. It's been there for the last 2 weeks, maybe more than that, because you were prepared. Things were bad at 14,200. Things were bad at 14,015 on SGX Nifty. Everyone was getting bearish back then. But we were the people who told you, have faith, get into this side of the markets, and we made huge money. PVR is a great example. You also remember the other names that we've given you. Rallis India, a very, very good name about that. And Divis Labs is another one. SBI, Axis Bank. You all remember the levels that we've got them on. 630s on Axis and about 325 on SBI. You know where they are right now. So we've done considerably well on those companies. We gave you 3 names today. But you have to understand a couple of things. When I say things are going to get bad, when I say there is going to be rain, I do not want you to start to exit portfolios. This might be difficult for an intraday person who might get scared of the volatility. But as a long-term investor, this is heaven for you. We wait, we long for such opportunities. We have been waiting for such dips since a very, very long time. I'm not saying markets are tumbling. We are just expecting some pressure, which I'll come to in a bit. Some pressure is expected in the coming days in our financial markets, not in our markets, but all over the world. We'll talk about the reasons in a bit, but I do not want you to panic. And as I said, I want you to endure this pain if you are in investments. Obviously, there are going to be people who bought it at the top. I know for a fact people have bought equity when markets were at 1400 right now, a couple of days back. Now that is bad. That is something I don't like. Maybe you want to exit some partial holding of that. But if you bought something earlier, try to endure. And if you remember, any investments that we give you, I've always said one thing, Himal has always said one thing, never put everything in the basket. Why? Because we are always expecting rainy days along the way. Probably we are expecting rainy days from tomorrow, from Friday. And when these rainy days come, for example, you wanted to invest 1 lakh into Axis Bank, you don't exit right now. You wait for a good dip, 5% dip, 10% dip, you put more money in that basket again. And we continue to do that until we get the desired return. But we don't exit. This is how markets test our patience. The best example I can give you is about the 3 ideas that I gave you today, what I personally do. So I'm very open about what I do. I said this, I have started a phased route of investments in Deepak Nitrite, Galaxy Surf, Naveen Fluorine. Small quantity, buy on dip in tranches for long term. I didn't say put everything that you have tomorrow. It's going to go 15% up tomorrow. I didn't say that. And I'm not expecting that. If it happens, good for me. But I would like markets to come down and down and down so I can keep on putting quantity before these guys explode, because I'm bullish on the sector. I hope you got an idea of what I want to say. Now, let's not spend too much time on that. But things are expected to be wild in the coming days. Let's talk about a little bit about that. Then we can go forward about a couple of more things. You have one thing I want to ask you. There are some people who became buyers, right? I want to ask you something. I gave you 2 levels of the market. The last 14 days, I think I've been very less active. Yes, I've been active for a bit, but I've been very less active. Sunday, I said something. What did I say? Monday, Tuesday, try to sit out. Did that advice work? I hope it should have. I hope that advice should have worked for you. I'll be very honest about it. See what happened on Monday, 10th of May. Markets closed around 14,950. Everyone was bullish. Everyone said 14,880 has broken. But I gave you one simple rule for Nifty and Bank Nifty. I said, if you want to be an aggressive bull, what should happen? Can anyone tell me in the comments? If you can, I'll be very blessed. I'll be honored that you remember what I say in the videos, because it's important. I always say, I said today also, attention to detail. Don't just blindly do something. Markets try to trap people like you and me, retailers. And you'll see that when the data is shown to you. But I always said something. I said that if you want to be an aggressive buyer, you need 14,880 to be broken for 2 consecutive days. I've made that quite clear. And for Bank Nifty, I gave you a level. I remind you of that level every single day, 33,181. Have I not reminded you? Have we ever closed above 33,181 even for a single day? We haven't even closed above. We might have made an intraday high of 33,200, 250. But have we ever closed above 33,181? We haven't. Not for 2 days. Probably this was the highest point. We closed around 33,142. We never touched 181 plus on a closing basis. So how can you become aggressive long in the market? And I've not made this point late yesterday or day before. I've been saying this point, I think, since 22nd April, 21st April, that if you want to be an aggressive bull in the market, let this level be knocked off for 2 consecutive days. If that has happened, we become aggressive. If it does not happen, you have to understand. Remember my words on Sunday. What did I say? 14,880. If you're below that, sell on rise. 14,880. If you're above that, we maintain aggressive buy stance, buy on dip. So right now you should know where you are. What's the position of the market? That is something people don't understand. What is the position of the market? It's a sideways market. And markets again and again are trying to tell you, I do not want to cross 14,880. And if they're telling you, why are you betting against it? Why don't you want to follow market's advice? I hope my point is clear. So you all remember, last 10 days, I gave you about 3 to 4 trades. Infosys calls, we made good money there. ITC calls, NTPC calls, all made good money there. Some ICICI puts, Axis puts earlier. I'm holding them. You all are aware of what I'm holding. I'm holding great quantity in banking puts, not the sector, but individual stocks. You're aware of that. And I'm a very simple person. I'll tell you something what I've learned. By the way, I'm getting a lot of requests on my social media, personal handles, and even our page on Instagram, Financial Analyst, that, can you upload or can you give us knowledge about what is your understanding of the work of WD GAN? So I want to ask you if you're interested in that, because it's a very vast topic and I understand maybe 1-2% of what he's accomplished in life. But whatever I have an understanding, I feel I'm doing pretty good about that. So if you want me to make a separate playlist on YouTube about what is my understanding and what are my principles based on the work of WD GAN, let me know. If I see significant interest in the comments, I would consider that. And maybe from this week or the next week, we can start to work towards that. So maybe the entire community can benefit, because that's the least I can do for you. I don't want to charge anything for that. Probably everyone can benefit. Let me know in the comments. So going forward, the levels never broke. So we are back to square one. We're back to square one. Couple of very important news updates came out, and you've been alerted, I think, in the pre-market today. Let's talk about that. 9 o'clock, 10 minutes, I sent some messages. Always read the messages. You're not going to get calls from me or the team. You're not going to get trades, but you're going to get some significant hints. The hints which can tell you what's going to happen, and the hints that can really shape your intraday trading. I always tell people, intraday trading or small charts are hiccups. They are hiccups. But if you look at the bigger perspective, the position of the market, the bigger picture, things can become quite clear and you can make money consistently over there. So I said this, that today, US inflation data is going to be released after the markets. That is a very, very important event to keep an eye on. Today is also the weekly expiry. Tomorrow is a holiday. So you can expect massive volatility today after 1 p.m., the institutional zone. Also, because why? The institutions are going to discount inflation, as well as what is going to be the plan for Friday. Overall, Asian markets are in red. Taiwan down 5%. Nifty is also down pre-market. And I said this, be cautious in longs. Try to stay as stock specific as possible. It's not a pleasant opening. What's the date? Yeah, 12th May. I said, not a very pleasant opening for banks and financials. And these are the guys who have plunged today. I also said stay stock specific, and you know my sectors very well. You know I have given you NTPC, you know I've given you oil and energy, PSCs, PSU banks, and metals. I've given you these names. Whoever have been in these names, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you made money in these names in the past, 2 weeks? Because these are the guys that have performed. And for the past 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, I've been telling you again and again, this time, big bank Nifty is not going to outperform. They are not going to lead the rally. I am neutral on banks. We have got good names for stability in our portfolio, but I do not feel, I'm very positive about it, that the banking stocks will not outperform whenever the markets rally. This is what I believe. Now, going forward, you know the names that what went up today and everything. And I gave you a couple of very important hints today also. I said at 2 o'clock, when markets were around 32,650 levels, 660 levels, I said there's a very tough fight going between PSU banks and private banks. I gave you another hint. I said SBI Bank's recent rally in the last few minutes has helped Bank Nifty to secure higher levels. So what you need to see is if SBI witnesses profit booking, you will see hovering Bank Nifty below 32,600. That is what happened. That is what happened. Didn't I make it very clear? ICICI Bank axes are very, very weak. Didn't I make that very clear? Weren't you already aware that I'm holding these shorts? You were already aware of that. Further on, remember this, I already sent these messages to you. I said below this level, what level? 181. I am not planning any aggressive longs. I am not doing that. Below this, I am not personally interested in longs. Carry forward in index. Yes, you can do stock specific approach, but I said it again and again, not doing any long carry forwards in index. And I'm sure about it. Some people have gone long in the index, which or probably the weekly expiries, you will be getting trapped. But try to use the pullbacks to get out of it at a small loss, maybe cost to cost or at a considerable loss. But use any pullbacks to exit. That is what I feel now going forward. And I said this, the SBI thing, as soon as SBI started booking the profits from 370 to 367, we saw a big plunge in Bank Nifty. Metal started falling down. Things started becoming very, very poor as we went forward. But I was in comfortable space. I was short on the banking. You are aware of that. And I'm holding my shorts on banking. So an important update is the MSCI rebalancing is happening and the final date is May 27. So we are expecting good inflows coming in. So around May 25, 26, please remember, don't go aggressive short in the market because around May 27, huge inflow, that's the last date. So huge inflows come when the rebalancing is happening. So we might be going long around that point of time. I'll make you aware of that. But stocks in focus are Cholamandalam, Bharat Electronics, and the three Adani names: Adani Total, Adani Transmission, and another Adani name. I'm forgetting about that. So these are the guys which are seeing inflow. Z Entertainment will be seeing outflow. That is something we should keep in mind. Now, going forward, the fundamentals which we were expecting, they came out and they were bad. And I'm going to signify, I'm going to stress on very bad. Very, I'm stressing on very. See what happened in America. The Indian numbers were good. I'll be very honest about it. The Indian numbers were good. The IIP, the industrial production, the index of industrial production, it came at 22.4% versus minus 3.6. That was obviously, you can't compare it with the March month in last year because of COVID crash and all. But if you see as per the estimated also, you're doing much better. These are great numbers. The Indian CPI, which is the consumer price index inflation, that's also doing well. It's come off the 5.5 to 4.2, and it's a little bit higher than the average. But the good thing is you all are aware of the RBI band of inflation. It's basically between 4%, basically plus minus 2, 6 to 2% is the range that the RBI has set. The WPI has increased. It's already crossed that range. But very happy to see this, the CPI inflation coming down. That's a very, very good positive thing. However, do you remember something I said in the last couple of videos? If you've been watching for the last couple of days, I used to give one message. I gave that bow and arrow example. What did I say? I said that the global markets are extremely, extremely strong. However, there is some big negative, which is lockdown, COVID in India. So global markets, though they are resilient, they are at highs. The Indian markets have been held back, right? And once this weight gets over, the lockdown COVID thing gets over, we can shoot up to the all-time highs. Now what's happening is the resilient global markets are now becoming weak. And it's not that the Indian markets are becoming strong. Yes, there are some positive news, but there are much more negatives as well. The COVID situation, though improving, is still not good. Because I think I read it today itself, the 18 plus vaccine, which was going to be administered, which is going to come in effect a couple of days back from May 1st, that has been delayed. Number one. Number two, Maharashtra extending lockdown. You can see over here, lockdown extended in Maharashtra 15 more days. All the other states also are putting in more restrictions because things are still not coming into control. The cases have come today. Yes, the cases have come today. It's 3.6 lakh as compared to 3.47 yesterday. So cases have gone up. That's not a positive signal. So the COVID overhang remains. Negative global cues start to weigh on India. The biggest thing which we were concerned about was the inflation in America. And you can see the CPI year on year inflation, it's come at 4.2%. And if I'm not wrong, that's the 12 or 13-year high. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think it's the 13-year high. It's much more than estimated. And let me tell you a little bit about that. It's a very simple logic. Think about this. If inflation starts to become more, basically there's a lot of money supply in the economy. That's why the inflation is high. It's very simple. The American economy, the government has given so many incentives, so many stimulus. There is a lot of supply, right? And now that's going to have a bad impact. The rates are very low in America. I think it's very low in America, the interest rates, and these numbers are going to put pressure on the Fed to do a minimum 25 bips rate increase. Because if you want to control the money supply, you have to do some quantitative measure. Something has to be done by the Fed to reduce that inflation. And this is going to put pressure on the money markets. And I think the money markets are already expecting that in the next 1 year, the rate is going to go up. And if the rate goes up, you all remember taper tantrum 2013. You all remember the significance of bond yields. I think the last 2 months, you all heard of the concept of bond yields. That's again going to come back in focus. Why? Let me explain why. It's very simple. Think about this. I am a trader. Let's say I'm a normal average person who has a job, right? I'm an accountant. I want to make money as a supplementary income, secondary source of income. What do? Right now, I'm putting money in the equity markets because I know for a fact I can easily make 10% a year, right? But what if there is much more risk-free return at negligible risk offered in the market? So if the rate of interest start to go up, people, obviously all the other sources of investments like your FDs, treasury bills, RDs, the government bond, the yields are going to go up. And people will put money there. Why? Negligible risk, safe return, much more return. People will pull out money from equity. FIIs will pull out money from the Indian markets, and they will put money in US treasuries. We will put money where we get safe returns at negligible risk. That's what's happening. That's why you have seen today the US 10-year yield is shooting up. After a long time, it's shooting up, forming like a double bottom and shooting up because of this entire inflation scenario. I hope I've done justice and I've cleared it out in very easy terms. That's a very big negative. The numbers were expected to be bad, but it's really bad in US. Further on, to add to the woes, the FIIs have started selling in the market. They've started selling for the 2 consecutive days. And today, they've sold for 1260 crores. I don't know what's the number yesterday. Let me just see that. Yesterday, if I just scroll back, yesterday FII sold for 336 crores and DIS sold 676 crore. Today, this number has quadrupled. It's at 1260 crores and even DIS are selling off the market. They're expecting panic. Today, I'll show more things also. And that's basically what about it. Let's talk about the data as well. Let's not forget the data. See, what's happening in the data is it's bad. I told you something yesterday also. Please observe if the FIIs go short on the index. And today, for the second consecutive day, they have gone short. And trust me, guys, this is not an everyday phenomenon. I don't know where the markets are going to go. I know how to read data. I know how to read charts. I know how to understand fundamentals. So I'm telling you, please be cautious if you're longs. I'm not saying sell market right now. It's going to go back down 1,000 points. You will keep on getting rallies. But I want to change my stance to finding a rally and selling that rally rather than buying a dip. Stop loss 14,880. Bank Nifty 33,181. Levels are clear to you. So I am going to use now going forward rallies to short the market. I'm not again saying wake up tomorrow, sell the market. I'm not saying that. I'm telling again and again because I know people still do it. So I'm making you aware already of what I'm trying to say. So today, for the second consecutive day, not an easy phenomenon. They are short on the index and not by a small amount, by a good 23,000 contracts. So the data is very bad. I'm stressing again on the word very, stressing on the word very bad. You can see what the clients are doing. The clients are extremely long. They are at 59,000 longs on the index. That's a very bad figure. Who is buying? People like you and me are buying again and again and again because we don't realize what we are getting ourselves into. Any rally that we get, it's because of us. And FIIs, the big guys, the pros our proprietary traders are using these rallies to go short. They are using these rallies to give us the stuff, and they are exiting. That's bad. I'm not looking at the call and put data today because today was expiry, but you can see very well that the FIs are sitting on great amount of puts. The calls have reduced considerably, but again, these figures are not going to be considered by me today, considering it's an expiry. But you can see how the FIs are fully bearish on the markets. You can see the stock futures. I always tell you one thing: stock futures don't lie. In this case, I don't think index futures want to lie, but stock futures have been reduced by a mere 34,000 contracts. They were around 2.2 lakh yesterday. Today they're at 1.88 lakh. That's a good 34,000 reduction in stock futures. They are booking profits again and again and again. And this figure has been coming down. It's already come down 60,000 points. If you see the clients, they are increasing again and again and again. So you can see what's really happening. FIIs are exiting, you and me are buying, and we are getting trapped. And that's the reality. That's the harsh reality of life. Let's see what's happening in the global markets, right? S&P 500 has broken 4100, right? We were at a good breakout. Could anyone have imagined this big fall? We've already fallen how many points? Let's check that. Let's see how much have we fallen right now from the highs. We've already corrected about a good 4%, not much. A good 4% correction has been seen on the S&P 500, and today's fall is a good fall. You can see even Nasdaq, it's back around those 13,000 zone. It's a very big fall that we are witnessing on Nasdaq. This 2.2% fall is not something we see every single day. You can see Dow Jones, it's also broken 33,800. We are sitting at lows right now on the Dow. So again, let's see if we get recovery, if some positiveness comes. I'm again not saying nothing can happen. If some positiveness happens, that's a good thing for us. You can see the bond yields, they're going up and up and up because of the inflation entire area. You can see the dollar index, how strong it's become in the last couple of days. Look at the reversal, how strong the dollar has been in the last couple of days. A big candle on dollar. And the SGX Nifty, it's obviously a good 133 points down. It's bad. It is bad. So today, by the way, VIX came up. The VIX came up. We were trading below 20 for the last, I think we did trade below 20 for the last one day. But today we managed to show some spike in the VIX. Again, not a big spike. People are still not worried. That seems people are still not worried. If you see the American VIX, it's up 20%. It's up 20%. That's not a joke. You were at 16 a couple of days back, and that's the amount of panic that you can sense in America. So, we are on the American VIX. We have a good level of 30s that is recognized by the big banks, the big brokers. If you go above 30, that's extreme panic, what we can see in the markets. But generally, 30 is a good point where the VIX can cool off. So you might expect markets to bottom out around 30. But if 30 breaks, expect more panic. That is what I can say. So America is showing you good panic. But this same thing, I don't know why is it not coming in India. That's one thing I'm concerned about. Maybe it could be a fake out. I don't know. But let's observe the India VIX. In India, the level is around 20 to 24. We do form a range between 20 and around 24. Above 24 can be considered panic in India as well. As I said, I'm shocked to see how the VIX has not risen in the last couple of days, in spite of the fall that we've seen from 14,900 to 14,700 today. So let's see. Maybe people do become wary. Tomorrow is holiday. A lot of global markets are closed tomorrow, but it's going to be a surprise where SGX Nifty or Nifty opens on Monday. So we will be ready for that. Banking is the one which is in a big pressure. Banking is in pressure. You can see how the market structure is becoming weaker. We are getting lower swing tops. Same is the case with Nifty also. You are getting the same lower swing tops heading towards the lows, which as I said, I'm concerned about. So be cautious. Basically, I want to end this, conclude this meeting by saying that you have to be cautious now going forward. And maybe if you ask me what's my personal opinion, I'm expecting some good gap down, maybe around 14,550, 500. It could happen on Friday. I will not be surprised. Again, it could not happen. I have reserved the right to be wrong. Please always consult your advisors and do what you feel is right. Don't follow anyone in the market. You have your own minds, rack them up and think what you know, and try to put that into execution. So, probably you could have a bad opening on, because the data suggests that. I mean, if you follow the data, it tells us that a big poor opening is going to come on Friday. Could be around, I would say, 14,550s, 500s. If I open the intraday chart, let's try to find some supports which can help you out. But yeah, let me go to 1 hour chart to make things simpler. So you can see on the 1 hour chart, right, there's a good gap that's over here, which I see is unfilled. Probably that could be filled, but I see good supports at 14,450. That's a good support that I can see right now, as well as 14,550. That these are two numbers. So if you open at 14,550, I would say observe what's happening. You all have been cautioned against not carrying any longs. I hope you're not carrying any longs, number one. Number two, I also, if you're in shorts, if you get a big gap down, you can use it to get out, book some profits. When you get a good short covering or a good profit booking, again, you can try to go short. We'll see about that on Friday. But Fridays are known to be black, and we've not seen a good Black Friday in a couple of days. And you all remember my saying, don't trust two things, Fridays and alcohol. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Nifty is still, doing okay. If you ask me, Nifty is still somewhere around this trend line, but the bank Nifty is one that's under more significant pressure. But if you start to come down on Friday, you can expect a good support at 14,550. If it follows, good for you. If that also breaks, then 14,450. Below that, a good 200 point more fall to 14,300, and maybe below that 14,200. That's something we can expect. But around these levels in this region, I will again start to accumulate equity. I'm again saying, you don't need to trade in the market every single day. You don't need to play the minor cycles. Try to find the major turning points. Try to find the major pivots and try to trade them. You don't, as I said, and people have been making money of these ideas. I'm saying again and again and again, you do not need to trade every single day. You know me very well. I've been out of the markets playing equity for stock specific approach in the investment area. We went short on banks. My community did go short on banks, and we're sitting patiently while they yield good results. So I'm not at all concerned about the intraday volatility. I have a view, I have a stop loss, and I maintain it. If the stops are hit, I accept the defeat. But unless until that's it, I go and go with my targets. So if you are about to get a gap down, it's very, very probable you get a gap down. Be ready for it. Be ready for it, but don't sell the gap down. I mean, don't immediately sell there. If you get a good short covering, something like that, then we can go short, something like that. Basically, let's say you open around 14,550 levels, you get some kind of something like that, and once this trend line breaks, then you can again go short. So I hope you all are good with the price action concepts. Try to follow that. So 14,550, 450, 300, 200 good levels that come to my mind. You can already see bank nifty starting to form lower swing tops on every rally. So it's already broken the trend line. So bank nifty has a good support at 32,000. I don't think we have any support before that. 32,000 becomes a good round number support, and below that 31,600 can also come. And again, below has no crucial support there. So just observe, be cautious, and maybe this is the trend that we have been waiting for. I'll end you with that, and use your minds. We are on Telegram to help you out, and I will see you tomorrow with some educational video. Thank you so much.